Hey there, and welcome to the Unleash Your Greatness Within podcast. I just have a quick message, a quick thought that I want to share with you that I've employed now for over 26 years. And that is this. When my wife and I were newly married, we decided there were 3 words we would never use in our home. In fact, we would set it up in our home as similar to a curse word. I mean, as bad as a curse word. And they're these 3 words. Number 1, we would never use the word divorce. We would never lightly throw that around like a threat or even a considered possibility. Never throw that out. We would never speak it out loud. We never use the word divorce. Even in our anger or frustration, we never threw that word out. Number 2, we never use the word depressed. Like, I'm depressed today. Why would you want to say you're depressed if you don't want to be depressed? Right? I learned this early on when I worked with Tony Robbins. In my first year of marriage, I was working with Tony Robbins. And I learned this concept early on, that the words we speak eventually come into reality. So if you don't want that to become your reality, don't speak it. And so I started to study at the time a lot around depression and a lot around cognitive therapy. And I learned a lot. I studied a lot around the power of words. Words trigger images, which trigger emotion, which trigger certain actions and decisions and so forth. And values play a role in that and so forth. So here's the reality. I never wanted my children or my wife and I to be comfortable making depression so commonplace that we spoke about it freely that it made it almost okay. Have there been times in my life where I felt like I could go there? Sure. When things are tough and your back is against the wall and you're trying to figure things out, yeah, it's easy to get down on yourself, but I would never use that word. I would say I'm feeling a little bit down today, or I'm feeling a little bit melancholy, or I'm not at my best self today. And then I would go do something to disassociate and to go run or to break my focus away from what was bothering me and so forth. So the first one is divorce. The second one is depressed. And the third one is I can't, as in I can't do it. We eliminated that one. Now, that was harder for the kids to understand because it's a knee-jerk reaction to say, I can't do something if you can't do it. But what I taught instead was don't use the word can't, eliminate the word can't, and instead use phrases like, I haven't learned how yet, I'm not interested in it, or I won't do it because it's something I'm not interested in. But don't say you can't, right? Your potential is huge. So why would you cap your potential by saying you can't, right? If you think you can, I wrote the book, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you'll make that a reality too. I remember Tony Robbins in those early years would say, when you say I can't, you shut off that part of your brain that would make it possible for you to achieve that thing, whatever it is, right? So you don't want to shut that potential off by using phrases that are negative, demeaning, and that stop you in your progress. Now, if there was any one of the 3 that we slipped on the most, it was the I can't. And so it was constantly. And what was funny about the kids as they were young and growing up, if someone slipped and said, I can't do it, lift this thing, do that thing, mow the grass, whatever, I can't, whatever, and they slipped and said, I can't, the other kids would hold that child accountable. Ooh, Bryce said a bad word. Connor said a bad word. Kyla said a bad word. Ooh, Julia said a bad word. They would hold each other accountable. So now I'm at an age, I'm 50 years old now, where I'm teaching my grandchildren. I'm not really doing the teaching. My kids and my in-laws, my sweet 2 daughters that have moved into the family are awesome. But you know what? That was one of the first conversations we had with both of the marriages and the daughters coming into the family. There's 3 words we do not use nonchalantly or too casually. That is, we don't use the word divorce unless you want that to happen down the road. We don't use the word depressed, right? We don't want to make that commonplace. We want to push against it as best we can by being focused on our goals and moving forward. And then we eliminate the word can't. There are other choices, other words you could use that are more self-inspiring and motivational for yourself to keep you moving forward despite falling down, right? And that's the one thing you see in all high achievers. They have that discipline and that vision. When they get knocked down, they get back up and they keep going. That is largely because of the language that they speak in their minds. And whether you think it or whether you speak it out loud, it can have a difference and it can determine your destiny. So my advice for you in the short little video is decide today, no matter where you're at today. Maybe you've already been married for 15 years, or maybe you're just starting a family, or maybe your kids are maybe a little bit younger than teenagers. Maybe they're 10 or 11 years old, or younger, even better. Start teaching them that the words they use can become a self-fulfilling prophecy if you say them repeatedly over and over and over. You will start to unconsciously, autosuggestion, you'll start to subconsciously find the evidence and the resources to make those word tracks true. And if you don't want it to be true, don't speak it. Say, stop, what I mean is, and then restate it in a better way. I tell you what, you change your thinking by changing your words and the thoughts that and the phrases you say to yourself, you'll change your life. I promise you that. Now go out there and unleash your greatness within.
greatnesswithin.com